I'm Pox.
And I'm Ragable. I hope. Can't tell.
The thing is, I don't think you can switch cameras while recording either.
Apparently not, no. Okay, so is there a good place where we can put this?
What you did last time worked, but...
what about right here?
Oh, God. How do we know if it's getting a good... Okay, you gotta get the other camera and tape that.
Oh, I don't even know where
the little one that I pulled out.
Okay, hopefully that's decent coverage. It's wide enough and it fits in the recess really nicely.
It's funny. I don't know how wide it is, because I noticed on the iPhone 4 that it isn't very wide. It's zoomed in a little bit more than when you're doing a still shot. It like jumps in by about, I don't know, 0.4x or something like that. Maybe half a zoom.
Half a zoom?
Half a zoom. So, technologies that died this week. We'll start off with that.
There's some RIP tech.
Yeah.
Which is...
Well... the poor Nexus 1.
Oh, yeah.
May it rest in peace.
Yeah. No longer being sold at all.
No. Just as soon as we got it here in Wyoming for a little of, like, 1 month, they killed it. They killed it dead.
Just the wrong strat. I don't know why Google insists on selling through online stores.
Well, so they gave up on that 2 months ago. They said, that's it, we're not selling through online stores.
So they only gave the brick-and-mortar stores 2 months of a chance.
Well, they just figured, what's the point in us selling them? We're not made to do that. We'll have HTC or whoever sell their own phones instead of having them sell them to us so we can sell them. It's kind of just an intermediary step that's unnecessary.
Oh, so HTC still made the phone?
Yeah, HTC made the phone to their specs. Google designed the phone, but HTC made it for them. Or they had heavy input on what their ideal Android phone would be.
Oh, so
it's...
So who makes the Evo then?
HTC. Who makes the incredible HTC.
So why didn't Google just say, this is the phone we want, go and sell it?
Because they were trying to cut out their middleman. The brick-and-mortar stores. They were trying to cut out
That's the only way people really buy phones.
They thought they'd give it a try. They got the money to blow on it, so they did it. So now the Nexus 1 lies next to its kin, which also died after little like 2 months. It's like the shortest lifespan ever of a phone is the Microsoft kin.
Was it really a phone?
Yeah, it was the Microsoft phone. It was the kin. It was supposed to be a social media skin on a Windows mobile phone, wasn't it? Or something like that?
I don't know. That's all I remember about the commercials is just the touted social media networking coming to life, whatever. I never really understood. I never realized it was a phone as well. It just looked like a gadget that did something.
Yeah, anyways, that came out in May, and they killed it in July. The Nexus 1 came out last December, and they killed it in July. So the kin didn't even last anywhere near as long.
Yeah. I don't know why they pushed it so hard.
So I wonder if that's going to be usable or not. I wonder if it's still recording.
That?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's find out. Yeah, it's still recording.
Oh, yeah, so...
no, it's not. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It is?
Yeah, it is.
Cool. Alright, so, right now you're watching the little tiny camera, and now you can see the little tiny camera with the iPhone, which is shooting 720p. And we're shooting 1080p on this camera here. I'm not sure how I'll release this. Probably just 720, maybe 1080.
And we're recording with this.
Yes, we got a new toy. It's a Zoom NH or 4N or something.
I'd pick it up, but I don't want to mess with the audio.
Yeah, I can't remember what it is exactly, but it's pretty cool. It's second source audio for us, so we don't have to worry about plugging in crap into
camera.
It's the solution for the DSLR is what it is. So we don't have to use their horrible onboard audio.
And the AGC that comes with it.
Yeah. And then even the little one that Ragable's holding right now, it's got an auxiliary in, but
it's
unruly.
Yeah.
It's just never...
The cords for it are...
It's never been up to snuff.
And the other thing about this is that we can always plug our lavaliers into this if we decide that the onboard mics underneath the sock don't cut it.
Yeah, so that's the real question, is this bearable? Because it's really handy.
Handy!
Otherwise, we can put on the lavaliers. But the cool thing is it provides phantom power, so we don't have to worry about the batteries in the lavaliers.
I'm going to put this down somewhere. I don't know where, though.
I'm like totally in the shadows.
I know.
Yeah, that's just scary.
Oh, shush.
You could put it in my gauge again.
Oh, right there. Oh, that looks pretty decent.
Yeah, now you can grab the DSLR.
Screw you! I put it there so I didn't want to hold, because I didn't want to hold anything.
And then you should pull out your what's it called?
My craptastic phone?
Yeah, the G1.
Yay!
You've got them on 4 cameras.
You realize you have to stitch it all together in post.
Yeah, but it's pretty easy. You just throw all your sources on there and call it a multi-clip. Bam! I don't know, I guess it's easier if it's just 2 cameras.
Take it one step at a time.
Well, we had 3 before.
One of them stopped recording it after a while. I think the iPhone stopped recording after a certain length of time, didn't it? That was your 3GS.
Yeah. No, I don't think the iPhone ever did stop recording, but what did stop recording was the DSLR.
Oh.
It's got like 15, 14 minute limit on it, something like that. 2 gig limit. Because of the file system.
So,
you know what? I don't have the little things in my car. Oh, so this is the first Commute cast in my new car.
You haven't told them about your Prius yet? I thought you've done something in this.
No, we haven't done a Commute cast on the Prius yet.
So Pox upgraded his car, by the way, to another Toyota after he had problems with his other Toyota.
For the last Commute cast we did, if you remember, it broke down in the middle of the Commute cast. The radiator was leaking antifreeze.
Yeah, and so after months of products or part changes and lies and other part changes and some more lies, Pox just scrapped the whole car and went with another car.
And I went with the same car pretty much. Because I wouldn't learn my lesson.
Speaking of dead cats.
Oh, alright, let's put it on the mic.
Let's see how that works. So, what do you think of your Prius compared to your Camry then?
It's a little bit smaller.
For who?
For who?
Yeah.
Width-wise. Like, my leg kind of hits the left side of it.
Okay.
And, it's the road noise. You can feel the road a little bit more, and it's a little bit louder on the road noise. But
it's a lighter car.
I think it's better insulated because you can't hear anything outside of it at all, which is weird.
So if I was to stab you, nobody would hear you scream?
No, I don't think so.
Yay! Good news for me.
Gas mileage? It's interesting because on the Camry they rated it kind of low. They were like, it's 35 miles per gallon. Highway 38 in town or something like that.
Oh god, don't hit this truck.
And the Prius is rated at 49 highway and 51 in town. Or something.
49 highway, 51 in town?
Yeah. That's the way hybrids work. They work better in town. Because they're lighter cars.
They do better at lower speeds, and there goes the camera.
I'm trying not to spill the cameras.
Stay. So, what's your real world experience in comparison to those?
Well, on my Camry, if I drove careful, I could get around 40 pretty consistently. And if I didn't drive careful, it would drop down to like around between 25 and 30.
Wow. And that's a mixture of highway driving and in town.
Yeah,
driving.
yeah. I'd actually I'd be able to get like 48, 49 on my way back from Montana. I have no reason why that's the only stretch of road where I'd get that kind of mileage. But for some reason I did.
Huh.
I don't know if it was all downhill or what.
Okay, but you recently drove the Prius up there that way.
Yeah.
And what was it?
About the same.
Oh.
I consistently get around like 45 on the Prius.
That's
because it's windy here in Wyoming. Wind makes a huge difference on the Prius. It's not as heavy of a car. So I get less than what the Toyota specs were on this Prius.
Because it's windier than what they were testing with.
Because it's a lighter car. And you can really see it hit, like when I go to like Rollins or as I call it,
craptastic towns.
Wind capital of the world. It's it was down, almost hitting the 30s.
You know what you should do is when you're about to hit Rollins, just stop over and put in some big rocks in your car.
But I have to admit, no matter how
give it some ballast.
No matter how hard I've tried, I can't get this to go below 30 miles per gallon.
Oh, you've tried to get it to go under 30?
Well, I haven't purposely.
By going 100 like you are now?
Yeah. I haven't really tried, but I've left it running a lot with the AC on. Which is the cool thing about this car, which maybe I'll take the camera out when we stop. It's got solar panels on the roof.
But what's the only purpose of the solar panels for this car?
Well, unfortunately, they were designed to charge the car. Which makes sense. It's got a battery. Solar panels charge the battery, right? But they said that there was electromagnetic interference and it caused the car to kill people or something.
So, in the end, all it does is power some fans.
Yeah, it just powers some fans to keep the car cool.
So, in order to do that, though, the car has to be in sunlight.
Right. And, of course, your car will actually stay cooler if you just park it in the shade.
Yeah. So, Pox is eagerly awaiting the person who figures out... Ow! That's hot. How to wire the solar panels circuitry from the fans to the battery charging.
Yeah, because you should just be able to run a couple cables from the output of the solar panel onto the battery and have it just trickle charge the battery all the time. It's not a lot of power. It should.
And then your car explodes.
Yeah, maybe.
And then you say, "Oh, well, look at that! My car exploded. It's your fault, Toyota." And then you get a new car.
Yeah, and then they look at this Commute cast.
Well, yeah, if they don't look at this, all the other evidence is destroyed in the explosion of the car.
Right.
And then there's another huge recall, and another whole huge media hullabaloo. You could really...
There was a special sticker on this one that said it was safe to drive and it wouldn't kill you.
Did the sticker have the actual words, safe to drive?
No, it had the words, will not kill you.
What? Those verbatim, will not kill you?
It had a green sticker, or it had a green check mark on it, on the windshield. That meant that it went through their whatever process to make sure...
Additional testing?
Yeah.
To make sure idiots won't kill themselves?
Yeah, something like that. It's probably not funny if somebody did get killed that is watching this. But then they'd be dead. In which case it'd be really creepy. But it'd be cool because we'd have viewers beyond the grave.
Anyways, back to the original topic. Is there any
But seriously, if there's any families, my condolences. We're just having fun at not your guys' expense, but never mind.
Are you done with your awkwardness?
I'm sorry.
Okay. Back to the original topic. Are there
Okay.
any other tech things that have died besides those two?
Tech things that have died besides those two. Speaking of dead things, what they killed something else that I liked.
Oh, you were saying something about the video toaster at one point in time. Earlier this week.
Oh yeah, Newtek's video toaster. They changed the name of it to VT because they didn't want to sound like a little kiddie toy, being a video toaster. And then they came out with a TriCaster, and with the latest upgrade to the HD TriCasters, they were saying, "Oh, we'll have the HD version of the toaster out." Instead, they said, "No, we're not going to do the toaster."
They've been promising that HD version of the toaster for years, I thought.
Yeah. And
eagerly awaiting
yeah,
today.
yeah. I've been waiting on it for 10 years now, or maybe not 10, but at least 5. And they came out with a software editing, which was Speed Edit, which we used for the first 2 years of our show.
Right.
Or actually, we used
Canopus first.
I used Canopus for the first year and Speed Edit for maybe the second year. And now I switched to Final Cut because that's what
everybody and their mama uses.
That's what everybody and their mama uses, and it works well. It doesn't have all the problems that other software has, like Windows.
But that's not to say that Final Cut doesn't have its flaws.
No.
Mostly which codecs it handles.
Like, okay, so
background rendering.
Yeah, if anybody who's watching this does any kind of video editing, you have to render stuff. And they've gotten better with real-time previews, but the way like Speed Edit and the Video Toaster used to work is it would do background rendering while you were working. So you wouldn't have to wait. You can just keep doing your thing, and it's doing its thing on your extra cores in the background. So you just don't even have to worry about it.
Then Final Cut just... Oh, God, the camera again.
Final Cut, if you let it set for, like, whatever you set the duration to in the preferences, like 5 minutes, it will render, but it takes over your machine. You can't do anything else while it's rendering.
Well, there was...
Or, well, at least not with Final Cut, anyways.
There was something else. When I was working on it, there was some flags that said, render this segment, don't render this segment, and everything like that. That doesn't deal with background rendering at all?
No.
That's just when you export the project or send it to compressor.
Well, it's kind of like they have to be rendered at some point in time. It actually works better if you hit the render button before you decide to export it. But like when I'm editing our shows and stuff, I constantly hit render to see what the sequence looks like. Okay. Like when we have multiple layers with a bunch of keys on it, it'll do the best to play it back in real time, but it's usually like 4 or 5 frames a second, depending on how many layers deep it gets. So just marking it with a flag of not render, it just doesn't render it when you hit the render button. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't even bother with that. So when you hit the render button, though, does it save the rendered output at least? Yeah. So you mean when you load it up, you load up something, oh, geez, there you go. Yeah, it always, you create a scratch file and it always saves everything into the scratch folder. Or there's actually like rendered folders. Well, that's just kind of silly. Fine. Well, you keep on knocking it down from over here. Where's your sticky pad? It's right back there. I see some sort of that's it. Remember? It screws on there. Oh God. Okay, I'll mess with this. Anyways, Toaster's dead. Kin's dead. Nexus 1's dead. You know what's kind of dead? The Incredible. They didn't make hardly any of them, and they can't get the screens in. But they're still in demand, though. They're in high demand, but nobody is getting them. So Verizon said you can cancel your order for the Incredible and get the X. Get the Droid X, which is a monster of a phone. You can kill somebody with that phone. The thing is freaking huge. Droid Extreme. It's like a minute, or it's like somewhere between an iPhone and an iPad. It's just like massive, but it's nice and skinny. Oops. The Evo's massive, but it's not as skinny. The Evo needs a kickstand. It's so big. Really? Yeah. Alright, let's see if this will work. Wobbly. Ooh, wobbly. Probably look like police officers undercover. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's not too bad. But things that aren't dead is our show, which one? All the shows in period. Everything we do? Everything we do is not dead. We were dead at one point in time. And we're celebrating a 5-year of shows tomorrow. Or, well, probably today, if I post this tonight. Okay, so it's our 5th year anniversary. Yeah. Woo. That sounds gay. Yeah, it does sound gay. Shit. It's our show's 5th year anniversary. No, it's our show's birthday. 5th birthday. It's a child. The show. It's growing up. That's so gay. Shit.
Are we doing it?
The show's 5 years old.
Not going to say anything else. Because it's not helping.
There's been 5 years of shows.
Alright.
Which is a long time for a podcast show, internet
What would you say
show.
that the average lifetime for a podcast show is?
Most people give up at within the first year.
I can't make a living off of this. I'm going to do something else.
Yeah.
We haven't made a living off of this in any way.
But we're still making
Doing
them.
Yeah.
I don't know. We kind of did go for a period where we started out doing them once a month, and actually ended up doing them like once every other week to start out with for the first like 6 months. We were doing like almost 2 a month, and then we slowed down to 1 a month, and then 1 every other month, and
Yeah, see, every time we had a surge in how many shows we do, we see some decent, from either advertising or ad campaigns, we see some decent monetary contributions, or like DVD sales.
yeah.
And then all of a sudden our frequency goes down, or then we go, hey, we can make a living off of this, but all of a sudden we stop doing more shows, and then we're gonna go, oh, yeah, okay. I don't know. It's been weird.
Anyhow, now we're making more shows than ever. We're doing.
Don't jinx it, because then we're gonna see. Yeah.
We're doing a show a week. We've been doing a show a week for almost a year now.
You started this whole live crap when?
Last October.
In October. Okay, so for about 6 months almost. October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
10 months.
Who knew?
Who knew? Oh, I know. Man, I'm forgetting all the good stuff.
What other good stuff do you have?
Like, go to meetings.
Speaking of monetary contributions,
Yeah.
we're able to do this podcast brought to you by...
Go to meeting. Go to meeting.com/podcast. Give them a try. Free 45-day trial. Hey, which place first? Forward or left?
Let's do left first.
Okay. Yeah, give them a try. Just go to this link. Go to meeting.com/podcast.
Helps us out.
Yeah, and if you're traveling like we are, then it's cool.
Because you use on the road.
You can go to meetings when you're not there, or vice versa. Not go somewhere and go to the meeting.
Okay. And we're back from that lovely word from our sponsors. And so we've modified our setup just a little bit this time. Pox has the drive cam from his iPhone 4. And then we've put our...
my seat back. There. Now I'm not so close.
And then we put in our Zoom.
Zoom.
I always do that. Our Zoom mic attached to the sunroof of Pox's Prius. For kind of like it's a little recording booth now. And then we got our.
Whee, look at this!
HD.
I'm turning the steering wheel.
God. And then this is gonna be our wide shots.
This is so weird. Yeah, point it towards you a little bit because I've got my own personal camera.
Oh, jeez.
What the heck happened there?
Oh, it's
Oh, it's zooming in. This is crazy.
There we go. Now if I don't hit that.
These guys are gonna
Focus.
pass us.
Focus. Focus. Is it focusing? I cannot tell.
Wear glasses. I'm sure it's fine.
Okay. All right. So, where were we?
Where were we? Where were we? We were talking about all the technologies that had died.
Yeah.
Doing this show for 5 years.
Yeah, let's not go there again. We've done that.
I got a new car. It's a Prius. It's got Bluetooth. It's got Bluetooth audio, so it's pretty cool. Like you can be listening to music on your iPhone or whatever's stereo Bluetooth, and it'll just start playing. You don't have to plug it in. And when you turn off the car, it stops. When you turn on the car, it just picks up where you left off. And you can hand it around to people inside the car, and they can change whatever you're listening to. where you can set up multiple devices and switch between them. So I can have the iPod selected, or iPad selected, so people can be in the car.
Okay, so how does that work then?
You pair it.
Okay, no, I understand that. So you have multiple Bluetooth stereo devices.
Right, there's an option. You can pick which one on the screen.
So after you've paired, you pair each device,
Yeah.
and it can pair more than one device at a time.
Yes.
But then you select which one you want to use.
Yes, and it'll remember whatever the last one was.
That's cool, because as far as as long as I've known and used Bluetooth, it's always been like a monogamous relationship with stuff.
No, these guys know how to share. It's more like polygamy.
That's good. That's good.
There's one daddy car and a bunch of mommy phones, and I don't know. You said monogamous.
You carried it further.
You went down that road, and I just had to keep going.
No, you could have turned around. Because I mean, there have been. That's good, because there have been times where.
But the phones aren't faithful to the car, so it's not really that way.
Oh.
Because I think I have to actually.
Oh, okay. You're just taking it a whole step further, even.
Because the phones can be connected to more than one car.
I know exactly where you're going with that analogy, so you can.
So they're both promiscuous.
Anyways, this inverter is freaking noisy.
It is. And it's little. I thought, oh, that's a little one. I can keep it up front. I don't have to like hide it in the back seat and run an extension cord.
It's not just the fans keeping it cool. It's got a. Do you hear that?
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know, but if anybody knows of a really good 100 or about 200 to 300 watt inverter that doesn't sound like a jet airplane, let me know.
It is. It's not just feedback. It's like it's a really tiny fan in there, so it's a really high squealed pitch.
That's probably what it is.
I say crack it open and take out that fan and put in a bigger one that's quieter, or a bigger one that'll run at a lower RPM.
What I want is I know there's other cars that you can get that just flat out have a built-in inverter, and it's like more industrial, and they probably have it cooled off better.
And it's integrated better into the circuitry.
Yeah.
Probably insulated, and it doesn't cause interference.
Well, like one of the things the car does have is it has a USB plug in it, so you can charge USB devices, and if you have an iPhone or iPod, you can control it and pick the song and playlist and stuff.
I am recording, aren't I? I think so.
Oh, did you hit pause?
I hit play, I hit record, then I hit play. It's recording.
Do you see the numbers moving?
Yeah.
Okay.
God, recording equipment freaks me out sometimes.
So this has only been a 2-camera shoot. We never pulled out the DSLR or the Android. I'm not saying we need to. I'm just saying it could be done.
A multi-cam shoot up in a car.
I had 3 cameras going before.
And how did that episode turn out?
Turned out pretty good.
So, anything else in your agenda besides dead tech?
Dead tech, new car. There's the whole antenna thing. I don't know if everybody's ever played that to death.
Yeah, we'd be. What more could we possibly have to say about that hasn't already been said and beat and raped and tossed into the river?
Well, we still can't get you a phone, despite the fact that apparently the phone is busted and everybody should return it. You still can't buy one because people keep buying them. I liked. I'll say this though. I liked Anantech's write-up about. Oh no!
What?
The camera. It just it went all the way around. It gives the viewers a sense of where we're going. But I was gonna say I liked Anantech's write-up, where they really evaluated the after they found out that a backup transferred over that field test or way to get access to those dBm measurements. How each scenario, holding it in your bare hands, death gripping in it, Oh, it's a guy on a horse.
Come on a horse.
Ooh, I know. That's what I wanted to talk about.
Old Spice
Old
guy?
Spice guy.
Okay.
He's not old.
Why would you want an old guy for Old Spice?
It's called Old Spice.
But that doesn't mean it's for old people.
I always thought it did when I was younger. Until they started doing commercials that were weird.
No, because it's not Old Man Spice.
Uh-huh.
It's Old Spice.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And now just by saying that Old Spice, Old Spice, Old Spice, it sounds really weird to hear it now. Old Spice.
Like the car, Oldsmobile. You don't want to buy that if you're a kid. It's for old people.
Oldsmobile?
Yeah. Maybe it's a stretch. Yeah. Or like even a Buick or...
The Buick I'll buy, that one has that imagery of being a luxury car, i.e. people further that can... I don't know. That one I have associated with an older generation. You know, sporty, young. This is just... What did you want to say about the Old Spice guy?
It was interesting and weird and different. It was something new that people hadn't done before. Use their main spokesperson to answer Twitter and random...
It was a
things.
Modern marketing and advertising campaign that took advantage of the real-time nature of social networking.
Yeah, there you go.
A company that got and saw the potential of social networking and the real-time value or the real-time nature of it. I mean, they could have, in the old days, mail us your questions to Old Spice and we'll generate a commercial for you. And then you'd write in, and then you'd wait 6 months for them to pick, and then they'd take 6 months to put it out there, and then a year later, some other time frame, people have already not cared anymore. But by, seeing them just pour in after another, after another, after another, after another, you felt more connected to what they were giving you.
Especially, there was like interaction between multiple people or whatever.
Exactly. So you're I don't know, for me, I physically felt geographically closer to what they were doing. I felt more connected to what they were doing, so I cared more. It's hard to explain. In a sense of space, I felt closer. It's weird, but I did.
Well, yeah, because you feel like, he could actually answer my question.
It's more personal.
It's
and
like, there's not this whole thing in between you and they're not that distance.
Like I said, that mailing and waiting, but all those things create this barrier and this distance between you and what you're interacting with.
Steve Jobs does it. He'll email you back. In a bath towel.
That's it. Okay, so somebody should take the Keynote address, or not his iPhone 4 address.
Okay.
And then post-process it so he's in a towel and giving his whole thing, in a bathroom in a towel.
Is your phone not manly enough?
Hey, there you go. Or yeah, just completely redo it and interpret everything he does as the Old Spice guy would with over-the-top bravado.
So why does he announce the things that he's on or doing? Is he just reading the script and not paying attention to the fact that those aren't his lines? Like, Old Spice guy is on a horse while saying this. And he's like, oh, I'm on a horse. Look, diamond, swan dive. Fish, cake.
Okay, so for that video response, I think they were just handing him random.
No, because like all the videos, if you watch the first ones that made him famous or whatever.
Not though. I'm talking about the YouTube video responses.
Okay.
For the one where he's responding to anonymous.
Okay.
and he's holding up random objects.
Yes.
I think the premise there is that people just start handing him random stuff, and he has to shout it out when it's put in his hand, in between the lines that he has to give. So it's kind of like, these are your lines, Isaiah, but while you're delivering your lines, we're going to put random stuff in your hands. As soon as we hand it to you, you have to stop where you are, pick up the random object, and say what it is. And that's
I guess so.
And you can tell he's about to crack up when he gets the fish. So it's like he wasn't expecting the fish. It's like, oh, it really cracks him up. So they try to crack him up again by giving him the fish again.
Okay.
But for the other ones, I'm sure there's they're more scripted out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just to be nonsensical.
I'm on a horse.
Silly. Stating the obvious? I don't know.
Diamonds. They're just. I don't know.
But
There's another type. There's another show. Oh, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs does that. That was my dad.
Speaking of just.
It wasn't that random. It really was my dad driving
I know,
by.
but you just stopped what you're saying. That's my dad. Just like you say, I'm a horse.
I'm 30 years old now. There.
That's right. It was Pox's birthday.
Yeah. So.
He is now as old as me.
It's great.
That
deal.
was depressing for him to hear that, apparently.
What was I getting at? Oh, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. He's like, he says what he's doing. He's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He's like,
there's a word for that I'm sure. Pontificating?
I don't know.
Where you're stating what you're doing at the same time.
Sounds good to me.
There is a word that means exactly that.
If there isn't one, there should be.
I can't look it up, but I'm going to look up what pontificating means. At least.
So, sorry for the long podcast, remote cute cast, thingy cast, whatever they're called now, internet show.
This?
Yeah.
The commute. We can still call it the Commute cast.
Oh yeah, ours is the Commute cast.
Oh.
So this right here is the Commute cast.
Okay.
I'm just saying, is an internet show in general that you're having to download that is now over 400 megabytes. I'm sorry it's so long.
Yeah, like that one show that I was starting to watch that was an hour long.
Yeah.
That just randomly. What internet show should be an hour long? It's hard to bear with Twit.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, like this right here. You don't have to pay attention to what we're saying. You could be doing something else. You could be, playing
Doesn't require your full attention.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be looking at something and be visually engaged in it the whole time.
It's like driving. Apparently, you can bring a multiple camera shoot and looking up what pognificating or whatever it is.
Pontificating.
Yeah.
That,
what was I getting at again? Oh yeah, but as a reward for staying this long with the show, we can save you some money.
With who?
With Zazzle.
With Zazzle.
Zazzle, because we love Zazzle,
Zazzle.
and they love us
A lot.
And I'm gonna keep hammering. I'm gonna keep trying. I really want somebody to make me a T-shirt.
Oh, you didn't post that in the forum, did you?
No, nobody's made me a T-shirt yet, and I'm gonna do it. Unfortunately, our forums aren't that active, so I'm thinking I'm just gonna do a poll on the main page, and maybe a link to it with a tweet. But there will be an official contest, and if we get a good T-shirt, people vote on it, then I'll announce it on the show, and I will send people the link to go get it. So if other people want it, I will probably buy it for me and possibly other Too Smart members for when we go on remote shoots. But I want a shirt that says, Too Smart Guys Live, something that isn't. It can be geeky, but not too stupid.
Geeky, but not too stupid to where you'd be embarrassed to wear it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't want to have I personally wouldn't wear somebody flipping you off or
nothing
too
vulgar.
It could be, maybe
something
innuendo.
That is acceptable in polite company.
Yes.
But still announce your geekiness.
Yes, and it needs to announce the fact that they're live on twosmartguys.com/live.
They're live?
Yeah, that's their warning. That's their public warning that they're being videotaped.
Oh,
So-
this is sort of like the person going out on the street to get the news.
Yeah.
You're
So-
on Two Smart Guys Live. What's your opinion about the iPhone 4GS 1020 HD?
Yes, but I'll need these T-shirts before the next podcast expo. And I'm back and upside down, except for I'm going to flip this in Final Cut, so it'll be okay. All right.
Besides being rude to your family members. Where are you at?
Oh yeah. I was going to finish up the commercial.
For Zazzle. About the shirt.
yeah.
Design something for
Design something for me that says live.
Two Smart Guys Live. He would, for instance, he would have needed that when he was camping out in the iPhone 4 line at the Apple Store.
And I'm going to need it for the podcast expo when I go to the podcast expo, so people will know.
That's still going on?
Yeah.
Hey.
It's not going to be until like October, I think.
Some
And-
people have plenty of time.
I don't know, maybe if, I'm probably not going to make it to DEF CON, and I'm not sure if I'd want to do that there if they might kill me. But there's a lot of people hiding out from the law. The last thing they want is to be streamed live on the internet.
But they're being recorded by video cameras in the surveillance room for the casino.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't do it. Anyways, the whole point is, I probably put this up at the bottom here, this whole code thing. Use code 2SmartGuys, and if you want to make and buy anything, or buy stuff that other people have made, it can save you, how much is it?
What? 10% or more?
Yeah, 10% on $50 or more.
Oh, okay.
So, give it a shot. And now that adds out of the way. I really do need a t-shirt.
Not like right now because he's not naked, but he's not naked.
Yeah, I think they know that. It's a video show.
Well, they can see your face there. They can't. They can barely see your shirt sleeve right here.
Uh-huh. Now we're grasping at straws. Did you ever find out that word?
No, because as soon as I hit the, there it is. Maybe because as soon as I hit that hill, killed the edge, and I'm on a G1.
Uh-huh.
By the way.
So the people that have commented on last week's episode, they want to know why we're not making more of them, and that we should give up on the iPhone, and that we should do stuff on the G1, or Android platform.
But that would mean we'd have to renew our contract just to get another decent phone from our local carrier.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind it. I would like to see newer. I've messed around with the Droid Incredible.
Yeah.
It's really nice. I'd like to see the Droid X. It function as a phone, a smartphone, and in case you really need it, a bludgeoning device.
I would say for anybody going to buy a new smartphone, to wait for a forward-facing camera. If you're...
That's so important to you, though.
To me. It's important to me.
I'd say I really don't care.
I'd say I want you to have one. That way, when I'm doing a remote show, I can just call your phone and use the video feed.
Okay, you got me there.
Because it's so convenient. It's way easier than saying log into Skype and go get a computer and
Just
go
video.
find a connection. Well, you're always where there's Wi-Fi because you don't leave your house or...
Thanks. Make me sound like a crazy recluse.
You're not?
Oh, thanks for not arguing the point. So what? I thought the Sprint Evo had a forward-facing camera.
It does.
Okay, so you said wait for one with a forward-facing camera. There's one with a forward-facing camera.
Okay, so I meant here in Wyoming. Verizon
yeah.
Network.
Okay.
Verizon Network. Or Union Network. They don't currently have one. It'd be cool if they got an Evo, but no, because there's no GSM. Yeah. I still think my Periscope idea is an awesome one.
The Periscope?
Yeah. That you put on the back of your any phone, and it'll turn it to make it forward facing your camera.
The definition that would serve what I'm talking about is to speak in a pompous or dogmatic manner. i.e., did he pontificate about the responsibilities of a good citizen?
Yeah, I don't think that was the right word then.
It was... No.
No. Sounded good though. This is where we need to put our tower up.
The question is how? How?
Just put on ski masks and sneak up the Verizon tower at night.
Well,
Put up our own little access point.
That's what I suggested before. Just simply build a little fence, or even put on your own device, but put around it property of so and so and so and so, but somebody in like property of that's right, Department of Transportation.
Oh yeah.
With the official symbol and everything like that, and that would deter anybody from really messing with it. And go, nah, I don't want to get in trouble.
Rogue Wi-Fi devices.
Yeah. Social engineering on the aspect of, somebody's anxiety about getting in trouble and messing with official equipment.
Good work.
The only issue would be tying it into a backbone of some sort, or were you thinking about using it as a relay point? Oh, power. Power was the thing.
Power was the issue. You'd have to go solar with a big battery or literally steal power, and that would be. Not that it's not illegal to put a device on.
You're already stealing space.
What's a little bit of energy?
Well, that was my thing. If you put a solar panel on it, then you could really put up a pole and make it look like those cameras on the side of the road. The road cameras.
So so they're stealing your neighbor's Wi-Fi, right? Where you just
we are.
We're not, but maybe one of us is, but it's not. We're not sitting in the car. If it's not protected, then it's, or at least in our state, then it's all good.
Yeah, we don't have. There's no ruling against using unprotected.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi points.
Now, if they have WEP on there, you could crack it and get in. And if you're saying, oh well, they're using WEP, that's weak stuff,
You're still technically breaking encryption.
Yeah, but they deserve it because it's lousy encryption. So you can kind of justify it. You'd be like, if they really wanted to protect this, they'd use something a little bit better, right? So then you go to the next step and you're like, oh, WPA. Yeah, I broke into the WPA, but if they really wanted to protect it, they'd be also using this and that. And then you could go to the next level and just literally find where their network cable's running and splice into it and put a little switch or hub in there. And run a little cable over to your yard. And you're like, well, I'm stealing their internet. Why don't I steal their power too? And you run an extension cord from their house, and you use that to power
that's a great escalation of thought there.
And then you get thinking about it, and you're like, you know what? I could use some water and
some food and some money
and yeah. I'm telling you, it's a path you don't want to go down. Stealing power from the internet providers. I don't know. Maybe that's a bit of a stretch.
Oh, by the way, just drop me off at my house too.
Okay. So we best be wrapping this up then.
All right. So tune in. Well, I don't know when people will be seeing this, but tune in every Wednesday night at 11:30 Mountain Standard Time.
10:30 Mountain Standard Time.
10:30 Mountain Standard Time. 11:30 Central?
Pacific Time.
Pacific.
And then Eastern Time is like midnight 30.
For our live show. Live-ish show.
And then we release the edited spit and polished versions on Monday at twosmartguys.com.
Yes.
And if you subscribe to the feed,
twosmartguys.com/feed,
or you search for it on iTunes,
TOSmartGuys.com. Oh wait, no, not there. Just Two Smart Guys.
Oh yeah. See you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
This has been a Two Smart Guys production.